I'm Officer Roy Paz with the Tampa Police Department, and it's time for On the Road with Roy. Let's go! Hello, Tampa Bay, and welcome to another episode of On the Road with Roy. That's me. Hey guys, we're at the McDonald's owned by Casper's Company at 1520 West Kennedy Boulevard. That's just west of downtown Tampa. And if you ever get a chance, you got to come by and visit these folks. I will say, I think this is the fastest drive-through in Tampa, okay? Unbelievable. You come through, by the time you order, you get up to the window, they're saying thank you, and you're out of here, okay? Now, that's one of the other things people say. They say, well, you know what, Roy? We see you on the Road with Roy, and you advertise McDonald's, Casper's Company, quite a bit. Well, it's not really an advertisement, guys. It's a partnership, and we would never, ever, ever... Woo, that's some good sweet tea. Never advertise McDonald's like that, okay? But anyway, the other question we always get is, Roy, why is your hair always jacked up on the Road with Roy? It's not. This is good stuff. However, though, I do get helmet head from now and then. I am a motor cop, and this is the best job in the police department, so that's why my hair's messed up. But anyway, just to get those little things out of the way, let you know what's going on. But guys, we got a real treat for you here today. Just a reminder about what On the Road with Roy is all about is we highlight different units at the police department. And we got a real good one to highlight for you here today. This is from our Criminal Intelligence Bureau Fraud Unit. This is Sharla Canfield. Sharla. Welcome to On the Road with Roy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming because what you guys do, you know, we're after the holidays right now. We've gone through Christmas, we've gone through January, and now we're into January after January 1st, and fraud is all times of the year, okay?
Yes.
People just think about it during the holidays and stuff, but it's
Right.
always, and
Yes.
that's what you do. But before we actually start talking about the fraud and stuff, I want to ask you about you, if that's okay.
Sure.
All right, so here we go. Charlotte.
Okay.
Are you from Tampa?
I am not.
Where are you from?
I'm from South Carolina.
Woo!
Yep.
South Carolina. It's probably cold up there right now, you think?
It's probably a little chilly.
How did you end up here in Tampa?
I came down here for the job to be a police officer.
Wow, okay. So did they recruit you up there, or did you just figure, I'm going to go to Tampa and be a police officer?
Figured I would just go to Tampa and be a police
That is
officer.
awesome.
Yep.
Well, you made a great decision. What a great place, isn't it?
It's great.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, what nationality are you?
I'm a mix between Irish and Spanish.
Wow, do you speak either one? Well, Irish is English, right? But do you speak any Spanish?
I do not.
No? Okay, all right. And how long have you been with TPD?
20 years.
Oh my gosh, 20
Yep.
years. That's a good long time. Has it
Yep.
gone by fast? for you?
Yeah, pretty quickly. It sure
Do you
has.
plan on doing the whole 30, you think, or are you still
No, I
deciding?
actually just dropped.
Did
so,
you
yep.
really? Guys, the drop program is absolutely fantastic at the police department. It's something to have to do with retirement, but
Yep.
that means that you leave in 5 more years. So you'll
Yes.
have a total of 25 years when you leave the police department.
Yes, sir.
Wow,
Yep.
that is something. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
That
you.
is awesome. And so let me ask you some questions then. That's really interesting about you.
Yeah.
How long have you been actually in Criminal Intelligence Bureau? Have you always done fraud there?
Yeah, so they moved the fraud division back to the Criminal Intelligence Bureau in 2013, but I've been working fraud cases since 2010, so
Wow.
almost 12 years now.
Now,
Yes.
I looked, you know, we try to do our research for On the Road with Roy, and I looked you up online. You've worked some huge fraud cases
Yes.
In the past. I mean, you've got newspaper articles, TV interviews, things like that. You've had
Yes,
some
sir.
real doozies that you've dealt with.
I have, yep.
That is something else. Well, you know,
Yep.
I'm glad you're here for this segment because you can really shed the light on fraud and stuff like that. So I want to
Yep.
talk to you about fraud. You know, a lot of people think, you know, if you ask somebody, what takes money more, a gun pointed at you or a telephone, what would you say?
A telephone.
A telephone all
Yep.
day long, right?
Or the internet. The internet's even worse.
And
Yeah.
I bet you've seen, you know, it's hard because to talk about fraud has so many tentacles that are going out to so many different things, right? I mean,
Yes.
it's just not one thing that you say, oh, this is fraud. There are so many things from internet fraud to phone fraud to people's scams on the street, everything and that.
Yep.
Is there any particular fraud that sticks out to you that you think would be good to talk about to kind of let everybody know not to be a victim of this kind of stuff?
I think the easiest thing to talk about would be just regular identity theft. If someone gets their identity compromised, bank accounts opened, or their credit card information stolen without their permission. Yeah.
So identity theft's probably the biggest thing, and they usually get that by getting people's Social Security numbers and stuff. How does that usually happen? Did they actually contact them, or did they just steal it off of some like hard documents and things like that?
So fraud has changed over the years. When I first started, it would have been from like a doctor's office or a dentist's office where information would have been stolen from physical paper, but now the information is stolen from everywhere and then actually uploaded into the internet on the dark web, and you can actually purchase other people's information off of the dark web using like Bitcoin and other type of currency. Yes.
You know, I've heard about the dark web. I really don't understand. I just know it's dark, but it's probably no good. But it's like, how do you even find something like that? I mean, how do you find on the dark? That's just crazy. It makes my mind twist. You know?
So people just share the information to other people, and it gets out certain websites to go to purchase information, as in Social Security numbers or credit card numbers, you name it, you could buy it.
Yeah, and that's where those people, like a lot of people, the skimmers at they would get information off of people's skimmers at like a gas station or something. Is that?
Yes.
And then that information would be put on a dark web.
Yes.
And people would purchase that or buy it and stuff like that.
Yes.
Man, oh man.
Yep.
What is there one particular section of the population that's targeted more out there? Is it kids? Is it elderly? Is it I mean, who is it just everybody that is probably a potential victim of scam artists?
I think everybody's a victim, especially for identity theft. It's very easy now to buy other people's information, but specifically for phone scams, the elderly or older population, they definitely are the ones who fall for the phone scams more than anyone else.
Right. What a shame. That's a special person that targets the elderly like that and preys on their goodwill and everything. And I've seen it before, and it just absolutely turns your stomach. You know, especially if they're able to be successful and they wipe these people out of their life savings and everything else. And that's got to be a good feeling for you, though, when you catch these folks.
Yes, when we can catch them, it's a great feeling.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, one of the things, Sharla, is this out-of-state stuff. A lot of times you guys are dealing with people that are committing these frauds from out of state, right?
Yes.
And that's got to be difficult to investigate.
Yeah, so what we do is if the victim lives here and let's say we follow the money and the money ends up being deposited into an account in North Carolina, then we will send the entire case up there. So all the records we retrieve from the bank or any video surveillance, we would actually send to the local law enforcement agencies where someone actually withdrew funds to investigate on their end. Yes.
Wow. But what about all these, you get phone scams like crazy. People are always calling and for the low price of $19.95 or whatever.
Right.
And there's more.
Right.
I mean, they're always doing something on the phone, but a lot of times it seems like these folks, again, are calling from out of state. Do you get a lot of reports of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so we get a lot of reports of phone scams where people have been contacted, like let's say from Tico, saying, hey, your phone bill's late, you owe us $700, go out to Walgreens and get gift cards and pay us via gift cards.
Yeah.
And they're not in the rears in their phone and their light bill, and they end up giving up $700 in gift cards to these people, and they give it to the victims will give the numbers right over the phone, and then the money immediately is taken off of the gift card. So it's an easy way for people to get money quickly.
Have you ever been able to catch those folks? Anybody doing anything like that?
No.
I would imagine it's pretty difficult.
It's really,
to
really
find them,
difficult, yes.
Especially once that gift card goes out and everything.
Yeah, once the money's drained off of the gift card, if it's transferred to another gift card, it gets convoluted in trying to figure out who actually committed the crime.
My experience with dealing just on the small end of fraud as a police officer, and we refer a lot of stuff to you guys to take care of, is after somebody, it happens, the person goes, oh man, I should have known better.
Yes.
I should have, golly, I just knew something was wrong or whatever the case is. We usually see these kind of things before they happen. It's just sometimes it's too good to be true, or sometimes they just catch us on those moments that they're able to manipulate and possibly get something out of us.
Yes.
And do you find that with most of the folks, a lot of the folks that you deal with that are the victims?
Yes. Absolutely. A lot of the times they'll call us, I know I was dumb. I should have known better. I knew it was a scam. And
but guys, these guys, a lot of these scam artists, they're professionals. They're good at what they do, you know. And I've had people tell me, oh yeah, when the scam artist calls, I'll tell them, hang on just a minute, and then I'll go and fix my dinner and say, you still holding just a minute, you know, like messing with them. And I'm like, yeah, that's funny, but don't do that because you're dealing with a professional on the other end there. They can manipulate things really good and, you know, and possibly get some money from you. And you think you're being clever, and they've switched it around on you somehow.
Or they'll keep calling you.
Or they keep calling. Oh my goodness. And that.
Yep.
Are there some things that people can do to, I know that the best advocate for a person with fraud is to be their own advocate, right?
Yes.
And try to keep these things from happening to them.
Correct.
And the FBI is involved with certain frauds and everything too.
Yes, internet-related offenses the FBI looks into, and then if something doesn't meet their threshold, then they'll actually send it back to us.
Yeah.
We have a good relationship with them, or they'll just take it and send it to the agency that it needs to work
Just
at.
amazing. Yeah. I tell you, I really appreciate what you guys do because I've seen the victims of fraud and it ruins people's lives. I mean, it is just upside down. But Sharla, I got some questions for you. Okay, it's time to wrap it up a little bit, and this has been very interesting, but I got some really. Fancy questions for you, okay?
Okay, great.
So we usually do this on the Road with Roy, and we're going to see how it goes. Let's see if you can answer some of these questions. So here's the first one. It says, did you hear about the beef jerky manufacturer who was convicted of fraud?
No, I didn't.
The beef jerky manufacturer was convicted of fraud?
No.
It was a cut and dry case. Get it? Cut and dry case? All right.
That's a
Here's
good one.
one. You might be able to answer this because you're a fraud expert. Back in ancient history, what was the biggest scam in ancient Egypt?
The pyramid scheme.
Yeah, you got it. That's right. I'll give you a high five on the side
there
for
we
that
go.
one. See, I knew you would get that one. Okay. How about this one here? What do you call a fraud in a candle factory?
A scandal.
You got that one too.
Look
Absolutely. It's a scandal. Okay, a scandal. All right, and here's the one. This is the grand finale. Okay. Why couldn't the asphalt company be prosecuted for fraud? Why couldn't the asphalt company be, and there's a lot of them, okay, that's a big fraud thing. Why couldn't the asphalt company be prosecuted for fraud?
Because there was no concrete evidence.
There was no concrete evidence.
There we go.
Awesome. That was good. Those got to be
questions.
super easy for you.
Yep.
Yeah, but those are good. All right. Well, hey, again, thank you so much for doing this interview with us and shedding the light on all the fraud out there and what you guys do too. You know, really good stuff. And guys, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the episode. And as they always say on the Fraud Unit, we'll see you next time.
We won't see you next time.